Hello, everybody. Today's a good day. Is it not? It's a really good day to take this mic out here. My name is Carl Moore. I am Hopi Chimwevi, English, Mexican, German, Irish human being. I want to start out by recognizing the tribes, the local tribes that were here indigenous to this land. And these tribes specifically are in the Salt Lake County area, you know. These tribes, you know, use this as a joint area to live, you know. And so they used it that way. So I want to respect and honor our brothers from the Utes, our Ute people over there. Let's acknowledge that this is Ute land. I want to acknowledge our brothers and sisters to the north, the Shoshone people. Those are our relatives. This is their land. I want to recognize the Goshute people over there on the west side. This is their land. And if we're talking about the state of Utah, I want to recognize the Paiutes from the south, the Navajo, the Dene people from the south. I want to recognize them too. I want to recognize all 562 plus federally recognized tribes in the United States of America. I want to recognize them because it's important that we always recognize, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here to kind of spotlight that recognition. I appreciate that Ma and Cristobal, you know, invited me to be here to do this because it's important. It's always important that we remember where we are. I understand this is a rally for immigration. I understand that. But there's also need to respect the First Peoples, the First Nations. I always find it interesting when I come to these rallies or I come here and I stand in front of this building right here, what this building actually represents to us as Native American people. You know, it's interesting because we have this place up there, what's it called, Ensign Peak, where I guess supposedly, and maybe he did, Brigham Young stood up there and says this is the right place. I want to say that is an arrogant statement. That statement is just a progression of the manifest destiny, that whole thinking of that this place is desolate, that this place needs to be tamed, that the people that were here first need to be tamed and subdued and mistreated. So I want to recognize that, those people, that, you know, our people. I want to also recognize that we're a family. You know, whenever I do these things, and the reason why I do these things is because we're a family. We're all a family. You know, and it's interesting that some people can't recognize that. They can't recognize that it's their own nieces and nephews, their own daughters and sons that are being detained. It's their own people. It's disgusting and it makes me sad. It hurts my heart. I don't understand how it can't hurt anybody's heart to know that there are people separated from their families. That's our family out there. So I appreciate everybody here recognizing that, standing up for that. I appreciate the people that have gone down there to the detention centers. I appreciate them. Just know, you have me in your heart, and I wish to support in any way that I can. Sorry, I get nervous when I do these things, interestingly enough.
You're doing great,
I want to start with a prayer song, a song that Sunwater down here has composed. Sunwater is a local group here in the Salt Lake County. It's a Dene family. Sunwater, raise your hands, be recognized. Yeah. Sunwater helped us out. Sunwater, they wrote this song. These are Navajo words. This is our Mother Earth song. So when they sing this song, let's pay respect to Mother Earth. Let's pay respect to our families everywhere. Let's think about those people. Go ahead. Thank you so much. I'm going to pray. Creator God, I just want to acknowledge that you're a creator of all things, that you give us this sun, that sun that gives us the heat and the warmth, that sun is here for everybody. The sun protects everybody, keeps us warm, gives us energy. Thank you for that sun, Creator. Creator, I just want to acknowledge that you created this world, that you created this air, that you created oxygen. You created the oxygen and nitrogen. You created all these elements for us. Creator, I acknowledge that you give these things to us freely, that this is for us, for everybody. I acknowledge that. Creator, I acknowledge that you make the water. You make the water that comes out of the cloud. You make the water that goes through the rivers. You make that water, Creator. And I appreciate you. Appreciate you for that. That water gives us life. That water gives us that medicine. Appreciate that water that we're in, that we are made in, inside our mother's wombs. Appreciate that. Creator, appreciate our mothers for giving themselves for us, for giving a part of their bodies for us, to keep us, to nourish us, to feed us. Thank you for our mothers, Creator. Creator, thank you for our relatives. Thank you for all these people out here that are doing good things, Creator. See them, know who they are. Acknowledge them, Creator. They do good things. Creator, ask for a blessing on every single one of these people out here, every person out here, Creator. Bless them in their hearts. Bless them with the strength to keep doing those things that are good, Creator. Creator, forgive us for everything that we do bad. Creator, let us see our own faults in our own selves to help us to be better people. Creator, I am a fallen person. I do bad things a lot. But Creator, I acknowledge this to you, and I want to be a better person. Creator, help me to be a better person. Creator, bless all these speakers that are going to speak today. A lot of them I know, and I appreciate them. I appreciate their heart, what they've done. Be with them. Give them the good words. Give them those words that they need to encourage us. Creator, give us all a voice that we can make a change in the politics around here. Creator, we are people, you know, and sometimes I get really angry and I get frustrated, as you know, Creator. But Creator, just keep me calm. Keep us all calm and doing good things with passion and a good heart and in a good way. Help us to do things in that good way. Help us to make a change. Help us to make a change in this world. Help us to make a change in this country. Help us to make a change in this state. Help us to make a change in our communities. Help us to stay strong and be united with each other. Creator, this is a beautiful community we have here. All different kinds of colors, ethnicities, religious backgrounds, all these things. But Creator, we are your people. And I just would ask that you help us to continue to be your people. Creator, I also acknowledge that you've given us places to live. You know, us as Native American people, we believe that you've sent us these places and we're going to take care of those. So please help us to respect that. Help other people to respect us. Creator, I want to ask blessings really especially upon those children, those kids out there who are crying, who are suffering. Creator, bless them. Be with them. Give them strength. Creator, help them to get through this. Help them to be voices for a better future for all of us. Creator, help these experiences, these bad situations, help those experiences to be something good that comes out inside of them. Help them to make a change. Help us to be a catalyst for change, for good, Creator. Creator, to ask to bless our relatives, their parents that are separated from them, and their relatives, their aunties, their uncles. Help them. Bless them that they can have the strength to endure this. Give them the courage to fight for their kids. You know. Creator, I ask blessing upon all those people who are making horrible policies, who are doing education they need. The realization that they're human beings and what they're doing to their family is wrong. Creator, bless us in those things. Bless us here today with safety. Say this.
Thank you, Carmore, and all our brothers and sisters. We're going to hear what we requested as a universal prayer by Sensei Christopher Kakuyo.
We are gathered here together, united as mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and children of the human family, aspiring to take compassionate action for justice, for peace, for unity. We are gathered together united, and together let us aspire for purity of heart. And in this purity of heart, standing together against all forms of oppression and aggression, resisting with our combined strength And though it may be hard, always aspiring for boundless love within our hearts, not only for the oppressed, but for the oppressor and the aggressor. For in truth, all are my friends. I have no enemies. We are one human family, so let us stand together united in love. Let this be our call and our deepest aspiration, the ceremony of our actions. That when we speak up for the unheard, when we stand up for the least among us, that this in itself is a celebration of love. Let this be a gathering of love, to bear witness and to stand up united together in a just cause. That a Colorado river of love may spill over and flow into the hearts of all. That our hearts will be filled with confidence of virtue, and that the waters of the mind will ripple with wisdom, compassion, action, and love. To those mothers and fathers and children separated, feel us with you now. We hear your cries. We are here united together in your name. For all those that oppress, we will not return ill will for ill will. In the words of the Buddha, hate never dispels hate, only love dispels hate. This is the law, ancient and inexhaustible. We ask that the fires of hatred burn down to nothing but ash. May we all become the three streams of truth, nonviolence, love, flowing as one, that the dry and withered garden revive its bloom. In the spirit of the teachings of the Buddha, the awakened one, may the separated be united. May the bound be made free. May the wretched be free from suffering. May the fearful lose their fear. May all people forsake ill will. May they love each other. May all the world enjoy well-being. May all people be happy. May all beings be happy, friend and foe alike. May the light of this truth arise again and again, dispelling the darkness, for the good and the happiness of many, for the benefit of all. And though times may be dark, let the darkness become our teacher. May we keep falling in love with the world and all of life, over and over again, for the happiness of everyone and the benefit of all. Namo Amida Boots, Namo Amida Boots, Namo Amida Boots.
I can speak. Victoria with Salty Crickets and Sistema.
My name is Victoria, and I stand here before you because some really brave people left from Colón in Panama, Havana in Cuba, and Calabria in Italy, and had their names changed at Ellis Island so that I could be here. Me llamo Victoria y estoy levantando aquí enfrente de ustedes porque mi familia se fue de Colón en Panamá, de la Havana, Cuba, y de Calabria en la Italia, y se cambiaron sus nombres en Ellis Island para dar mi oportunidad en los Estados Unidos. All I know to do is to make music. Solo yo sé qué hacer es crecer la música, a mejor la vida y mejor el mundo. Y entonces ahora me voy a crecer una música con los niños. Es una canción de México, se llama La Llorona. Y 6 meses pasado, nosotros fuimos al cine a ver la película Coco. Y en el 6 meses pasado, era una película buena. Ahora, es una historia realmente para las mujeres en Texas, en Arizona. Ellos están llorando por sus niños otra vez. Y nosotros podemos cambiar esta realidad para estas mujeres. 6 months ago, we all went to theaters and we watched Coco. And 6 months ago, it was a cute little movie. And we saw this song performed, La Llorona. And we thought, great, that's a cute little song. But sadly today, It's a reality for women at the border in Texas, in Arizona, and other places. They are crying for their children again. Our policies should not be the reason that mothers are still crying for their children. So I have dos lloronas conmigo. Come here, mis lloronas, right here. And I have Anastasio Castillo. They are going to lead us in La Llorona. Now, what's very beautiful about this song is that you can all participate. These beautiful young women are going to sing a couplet of lines, and you're just going to repeat it with them. They've got backup singers and mariachis as well. So we're going to leave a little space for that. We'll try to cue you as best you can, but just join in as the Spirit leads.
¡Viva la vida!
Todos me dicen el negro, llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Todos me dicen el negro, llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Yo soy como el chile verde, llorona, picante pero sabroso. Yo soy como el chile verde, llorona, picante pero sabroso. Salías del templo un día, llorona, cuando al pasar yo te vi. Salías del templo un día, llorona, cuando al pasar yo te vi. Qué hermoso huipil llevabas, llorona, que la Virgen te creí. Qué hermoso huipil llevabas, llorona, que la Virgen te creí. No sé qué tienen las flores, llorona, las flores del Campo Santo. No sé qué tienen las flores, llorona, las flores del Campo Santo. El monstruo del viento a las 9, llorona, parece que están llorando. Que cuando el viento las mueve, llorona, parece que están llorando.
All right, who's ready? I don't think I can hear you. Who's ready? My name is Cristobal Villegas, and I'm one of the co-organizers of this amazing rally. And I'm going to let my other co-organizers introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Uncle Noel. Some of you may know me as Chase. We're going to have a good lineup of some great speakers. I really strongly urge you to pay attention to what they have to say, as well as following up with them at their booths. To get more information, to really get more organized, more involved. This is just the very beginning.
I'm Ma Black, and I want to recognize that Summer is here also. She's right here. She's also one of the co-organizers. And thank you all for being here. We're going to start with amazing speakers. They were carefully selected, and we invite you to stay and listen to these messages. We're going to start with Brandy Farmer. After Brandy, we're going to have Adrian Romero. And after Adrian Romero, we're going to have David Morales. So let's hear it for the speakers. Big round of applause, because I don't know if we cannot see, there's people down there. So let's hear it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And thank you for being here. My heart is full to see this support. I'm old enough to have witnessed so many changes in America. Progression, digression. Progression, digression. Progression, digression. We are digressed right now, but we are going to progress, right? Those who know me know that I'm a very emotional person. I've been an activist for 55 years. I'm a peaceful activist, always searching for the truth. And that's what we must all do, always. As I watch, listen, and read, I'm astonished to learn that our immigrant families, our families, have been separated, treated with disrespect, violated, and put into cages like prisoners. It has raised the nation's temperature, and that's why we're here today. Looking back at the history of this world, when you see them, what does it remind you of? Nazis! That's right. Concentration camps. I imagined them. I imagined the families and the children. As a mother, yo soy madre y abuelita. I'm a mother and a grandmother. And I've imagined myself in the parents' place, having my child and my children ripped away from me, not knowing where they are taking them. Are they safe? Will they be abused? What are they thinking? Will I ever see them again? Are they thinking, is my mom, my dad alive? I have been a child myself, and I have imagined being a child. I have put myself in their place, and I want my mommy. I want my daddy. Yo quiero mi madre. Yo quiero mi papi. Yo quiero mis hermanos. Will I ever see them again? Are they alive? What that amounts to is child abuse. Plain and simple. How can this aluminum blanket take the place of the comfort of a parent's arms? It cannot. When I saw those pictures and I thought, oh my God, how cruel can anyone be? And each individual traumatized. First, by the violence and terror that they're fleeing from, the reason that they're leaving their country. Second, by the sheer terror of the journey of being caught before they cross the border, perhaps being violated. Okay, my time is up. So anyway, I had much to say, but I do want to leave you with this one thing. I want to thank everyone for being here, and especially the media, but I want you to exercise your right to vote. Register to vote. If you can't vote, find someone who can and get them registered, and talk to your government officials. Get your phones out and record them and play it back on social media. So please do that. There are people that are walking around here with the registration, so please make sure that you get registered to vote. And thank you. God bless you for being here.
Government won't listen to you. Put yourself in their place. Run for office. Power to the poor.
How about power to the people? How about power to the workers and the immigrants and the people who are actually going through this? Hi, how's it going, everybody? I'm gonna read my speech off my phone, so I'm not like doing anything else, but okay. My name's Adrian Romero. I use they, them pronouns. I'm queer, I'm an immigrant, I'm unafraid, and I'm ready to fight back. Who's with me? Some of you know me and you know my story. I was born in Mexico and raised in Salt Lake City. My family moved to the U.S. in search of healthcare and economic stability after NAFTA. Every single time I speak on immigrant rights, I think about my parents, their hard work and their sacrifice. Night she came home from work because her feet were swollen. I think about my parents, I think about how my parents have gone out of their way to assimilate into American life, learn English, and work towards citizenship. There's an American flag outside of my house. Do you have any idea how much that hurts me? Breaks my heart, honestly. For what, though? So Donald Trump and his little cult of mediocre followers can dehumanize them and label them criminals? My parents are hardworking people. Okay? They're not criminals. They're actually very law-abiding. All they do is tell me to stay out of trouble. And yet I'm up here doing exactly what they don't want me to do, right? Growing up, my parents both worked 2 jobs to support our family of 5. I would go days without seeing them. I would cry when cling to my mom's ankles and beg her not to leave every time. I was also abused by the people they trusted to take care of me while they were at work. As an adult, I now struggle daily with insecure attachment, mental illness, and complex trauma, which impact my ability to function and have healthy interpersonal relationships. I can't even imagine what these children and their families are going through, what kind of future they will have.
There are lawsuits claiming that these kids are being threatened, beaten, and sexually abused, as well as given unnecessary psychiatric drugs. They're being tortured. That's right, shame, shame. They are being kept in cages and made to sleep on concrete floors. Those freaking aluminum blankets. These are conditions that no sentient being should ever have to live under. All sentient beings deserve the right to freedom, family life, and to not be mistreated by the state. That is straight out of the Declaration for Human Rights. But especially those who do not have the capacity to understand what's going on, like children. It's important that we do understand exactly what is going on in this country right now. This is the beginning stages of a modern day Holocaust.
Yes. We will not be silenced.
That's right, we will not be silenced. We will give them hell. It began with the president's xenophobic and dehumanizing statements, then the travel ban, and now the state is using ICE to terrorize and detain civilians and justifying it in the name of national security, in the name of patriotism. This is not patriotism. This is white nationalism.
We are the patriots.
Where have we seen these characteristics before? Nazi Germany. Why is this country turning into Nazi Germany? Sorry, I'm almost done, I promise. And why? Okay, let me talk, please. And why is a major power like the U.S. so concerned with national security when they're the ones investing millions of dollars on war and occupation overseas? Why is Trump so quick to fund border walls and internment camps, but fails to provide aid to American citizens in Puerto Rico? Because this has never been about prioritizing American citizens. They don't care about American citizens. All they care about is white American citizens. This is about the oppression, domination, and exploitation of other nations. Migration is a natural response when your way of life and survival is being threatened by imperialist violence. The multinational people of Salt Lake City demand an end to the mass detention and deportation. We demand an end to the abuse, dehumanization, and profitable exploitation of our community members. We are calling for the abolishment of ICE and their detention centers. We demand an accessible pathway to legalization for all immigrants and their families. To see every single one of you that is able to, joining organizations, attending meetings, and putting in work. I'm up here risking my safety. Not that you guys should be. But believe me when I say there is something for everyone to do. I started out tabling and designing flyers, and now I'm up here speaking. This could be you guys. I want to see you guys. I want to see people like me up here. I'm done. I'm almost done, I promise. I want to see every single person with a cell phone calling the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office this week and demanding that they refuse to work with ICE. You can talk to Utah Against Police Brutality and get the number. I want to see people occupying ICE buildings, organizing to protect deferred action, organizing underground networks. If you don't think it will come to that, it already has. We must fight against ICE and Trump's fascist agenda by any means necessary. Thank you, everybody. Please be sure to check out these various grassroots organizations. Please make sure to take a fight back, news and views of the people's struggles. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you, Adrian. David Morales.
1 second. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. I am very thankful and grateful to see your faces. I am sad that we're meeting under these circumstances, though. I wish it was under something better. But I'm glad that you're here, and that I'm glad that you care. And we're gonna show the First Lady that we do care. I've done a lot of protests for a lot of reasons in a lot of states, but never I thought I was going to be protesting for children's rights inside of this country. Like, am I in a different country? Did I get deported to a different country already? Am I still within the US territory? It just didn't make sense to me. The fact that we have signs saying free the children is crazy to me. As a father, it breaks my heart to see parents and children caged up like animals inside of a zoo. And for anyone to defend that policy is just wrong and simply not human. It is disgusting. In a world where good is called bad and the bad is now good, we must remain strong. We must be more than keyboard warriors on Facebook. I'm serious. We must go out and we must vote. We must run for office if you can. And if you can, be a sponsor parent to a lot of kids under the DCFS custody that their parents have been deported, and because they're US citizens, they're taken into state custody and being locked up as well. While most of us can't or won't go down to the border to help out the children, you can help immigrants in your own backyard. For example, find a family, or if you know somebody who's struggling financially, this upcoming school year, buy them a backpack with school supplies. Let them know that you care. Let them know that you're here, that you listen to them, and that you want them to be better. And you might say, oh, I don't know anybody. Come talk to me after this event because I have a full list. We must do everything possible to make sure that this stops with this generation and that it stops now before it gets worse. Children should not be kidnapped in order to get funding for a wall. Children as young as 1 year old are being taken to federal court to fight their deportation, and they have to argue why they deserve a chance for asylum. Can you believe that? Most of the babies can't even say mom or daddy yet, and they have to defend themselves federally in court. Shame. Shame. Seeking asylum is not against the law. In fact, it was encouraged up until this new administration came into power. It made it seem like it was something illegal to do.
Yes!
To think that building a fence is going to stop the problems of a huge and complex country like ours is just naive and just plain stupid. I challenge you to be the light in the darkness, the difference maker, the one that stops your friends and family members if they say something that's inappropriate or something racist, and say, hey, wait a minute, that's not right, even if it makes the situation a little bit uncomfortable, because that is the way we stop this, with our minds and our hearts and our thoughts and our daily conversations. Thank you very much.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! So next we're going to have a special announcement by Myra from Comunidades Unidas. Then we're going to have Armenia and then Corinne Galvan. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. We are Comunidades Unidas, and we are a local nonprofit here in Salt Lake City. We've been at the forefront of immigrant rights since 1999. Some of you have asked what the butterfly means. Well, monarch butterflies immigrate from Canada to Mexico and from Mexico to Canada every single year. That is a reminder that migration is beautiful, but that migration is natural. Natural. We're here for a call to action. We want all of you to take out your phones right now, tweet, Facebook, or call your representatives. Then let's tweet them, send them a picture, send them a message. Let's take 30 seconds to do that right now. Let's utilize the
this moment that we're here together to send them a message that we are here and that we're asking them not to separate families.
We're telling them, we're not
Another thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna have a set of clipboards. Some of us will be visiting Washington, D.C. this upcoming week, and we wanna take all of your signatures. This is a way for all of us to make our voices heard. So please, 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 my colleagues and I are gonna be around the rally, and we're gonna be collecting signatures. Our goal today is to collect 1,000 signatures and take them in person to Washington, D.C. this upcoming Wednesday. So are you all with us? Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Comunidades Unidas. And as you can see, there are various canopies around on both sides. These are local organizations that are doing the work from the ground. When you're in front of the TV frustrated because you're like, what can I do? This is happening in Texas. Guess what? There's stuff happening in Utah too. I want to introduce you to one of the best and the people that are doing the work from the ground, Red de Solidaridad. Rebecca Hall.
Hello. I was not expecting to come up here today. Glad to see you all. The situation is so fucked up. Anyway, back to the point. So I work with an organization called, I call it the RED. It's the Red de Solidaridad, which means like net of solidarity. Our table is right. Can someone from our table like stand up? It's like really like, oh, right there, they're waving right there. Okay, so we've been working to provide rapid response to families dealing with deportation. So, providing really direct assistance, food, diapers, groceries, raising money for rent. And we really need help. We need, especially Spanish speakers would be good, but even if you don't speak Spanish, we need help. We need bodies. We need people. If you could sign at our table. The other thing is that we work with the Unitarian Church. I'm talking about something I didn't do. So, with the Unitarian Church, and help establish sanctuary for Vicky, who has been living in the Unitarian Church. So please come to the table if you can do it and sign your name so we can get you involved. Especially we need help this summer. People are leaving town and we don't have the capacity that we need. And we're intentionally not a nonprofit because, never mind. Anyway, so we're not a nonprofit, but we raise money, by word of mouth, Facebook, etc. Okay, thank you.
Hello. My name is Ermia Fanayan. And I declared this at the Pride March. I declared this at the Poor People's Campaign rally. And I'm going to declare it once more because I think it's an important reminder. I am an 18-year-old transgender woman refugee of color. And I am the all-American girl that you've always heard about. Seeing those children stripped from the arms of their parents at the border in the name of lawful responsibility hit close to home for me. Because I, too, was once that child seeking refuge in this nation. The America that we know and love gave me the opportunity to become the formidable person I am today. The America today that impedes opportunity from families is unrecognizable. If we cannot protect children yearning for refuge, then we cannot protect anybody. America has lost. America has lost if we believe the injustice of children must transpire to protect national security. So here's what I have to say. Here's what I have to say to those that exalt absolutism of law. Absolutism of law does not transcend American values. In our America, no mother, no child, no human being is illegal. So let's get up. Let's vote, let's vote, let's vote like our lives depend on it, because they absolutely do. Thank you.
My name is Corinne. My pronouns are she or they. I am queer, I am Latinx, I am biracial, and I was at a detention center last weekend at the US-Mexico border in California on the border of Tijuana. And we had a crowd less than what you are today out there. We stood out there, we protested, we let our voices be heard, and then we shut up. And what we heard, "No se escuchan," they said from behind the wall. "We hear you." They said, "Where are our babies?" Just be with that for a second, because I've been with it all week.
¿Dónde están los niños?
Where are the babies? What are we doing? We built a nation on imperialism, on colonialism, on the backs of slave labor.
Yes.
And now we are ripping kids from their parents' arms when they're seeking asylum. That's right, shame. We stood outside the detention center, we held hands, and we chained ourselves to the fence. We were detained, and then we came back again the next day. And we are there again this weekend. Many more numbers are there again this weekend in California, in Texas, in Arizona. You have to use your voice. You have to speak up, and it's not good enough. Chaining ourselves to a fence wasn't good enough. Being detained wasn't good enough. Going back again isn't good enough. What is good enough? What is good enough? Abolish everything. Knock it all down. Capitalism, colonialism, imperialism. There is no seat at the table because there's no fucking table. So come back again. I want to see this many people at the next Black Lives Matter rally. Okay? Come back, don't give up, and fight, and fight, and fight. Una Puebla, una lucha. Una Puebla, una lucha. Una Puebla, una lucha. Una Puebla, una lucha. Thank you.
Pueblo unido jamás serán vencidos. pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. All right. Next we have Ma Black, and followed by Ma is Uncle Noel.
Words matter. Words have power. I'm here today to use my voice. Make no mistake. This administration has a plan, not only to demonize immigrants and ban refugees, but to lie about the right to seek asylum. But wait, this plan also includes you. He wants to convince us that there is no hope. They want to divide us, to make us feel there is nothing we can do, that this is the way things are now. Are we going to let that happen? I can't hear you. Are we going to let hate win? Are we going to let racism win? What do we do when immigrants and refugees' families are under attack? I can't hear you. Those kids and their families are counting on us. Stand up. Fight for their freedom and their safety. We cannot let them down. We must continue by showing up and fighting back. Now is the time to speak up. We demand that the children are reunited and return with their parents today. We demand that the families are reunited, not in cages. And family detention. We demand the end to abduction and placement of children and babies in detention centers. This is inhumane. We cannot let this continue. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for taking a stand. This is only the first step. Continue to take a stand for the truth, for what is right, for compassion, for justice. May your legacy continue and continue the fight for the truth always, no matter what, no matter how hard it is. But most important, don't ever lose hope, because we care, and I want to hear everybody say this. We care, we care, we care. Thank you. We care, we care, we care.
Who cares?
We care.
Who cares?
We care.
Who cares?
We care.
Who cares?
We care.
So quick, we're going to have a quick announcement by Utah Against Police Brutality, one of their calling campaigns, that we're going to have an uncle speak after.
Hello again. Okay, right now, another action that you can take, and first of all, thank you again for everybody that is here today standing up for our migrant community. You are awesome. Utah Against Police Brutality, we have a calling campaign occurring right now the rest of the week. I want everybody to take out their phones right now and take this phone number down. Okay, I'm going to give you a second. Come on. Okay, our calling campaign is going to involve calling Sheriff Rivera to demand two things. Is everybody ready for the phone number? Okay, area code 385-468-9898. That was area code 385-468-9898. And you're going to tell them that you have a message for Sheriff Rivera. And we're going to demand two things.
We don't want them to accept ICE detainees at any county jails. And we do not want them to inform ICE when undocumented people are arrested or booked into jails. If you're not sure of what to say, please visit Utah Against Police Brutality, our Facebook page. There's a sample script under the event. We're doing this all week long. It's very easy. You can do this from your home. Make these calls from your home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Uncle?
Hello, everyone. Can I get a big abolish ICE before I start speaking? The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Abolish ICE! All right. So the topic of discussion I wanted to go over today is why is all of this happening in the first place? Beyond ICE, beyond our own border, what is happening in the world as a whole right now? There's a migrant crisis around the world, and it's fueled by namely one thing, this country. And this isn't an accusing statement to anyone in the audience. This is the facts of our life. Our entire luxury and our comforts are built on the backs of people from Africa, Asia, and South America. This is beyond our own border. Every institution that is in place currently is making a profit off of this migration crisis. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is there's tons of money in war. That's something all of us can recognize. So we're in foreign countries, invading their land, overthrowing their government. And then when they do have a crisis, they come back here and we deny them entrance. We deny them their humanity. This is something, as Americans, we need to take a look at our entire lifestyle. Our entire lifestyle, our entire comfort on the international platform is far above anyone else's. This is a moral imperative that we do much more than just rally and protest, much more than discuss this on the internet. This is something we need to follow up with grassroots organizations, get out on the streets, and make change ourselves. ICE has been around for over 16 years. There's an outcry now because recording has been leaked. Our politicians have had over 16 years to mitigate this crisis, over 16 years to make the lives of undocumented folks and immigrants much better, but here we are anyways. This is a people's movement, and we need to realize those who you're standing next to are going to be the ones fighting right there with you. We've all established we're brave and we're here and we're ready to fight. We can't accept this to develop further into a crisis of fascism. We all recognize the parallels. This requires one kind of response. If we truly do feel that we are as in peril as we are, then this requires lots of action, lots of consideration to our entire lifestyle. We can no longer keep living the way that we do. We can no longer keep funding wars. We can no longer keep overthrowing governments. And we can't keep selling weapons to the world. Thank you.
Abolish! 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 Awesome. First, look around you, who's around you. See their faces, everyone here, like the past speakers have said, we want to make sure that you are there in the future rallies. When our black friends and family are under attack, we got to stand up and fight back. When our queer, trans, indigenous, mothers, fathers, people who don't have a faith, people who do have a faith, people who are experiencing homelessness, when they are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All right. So right now, we're actually going to have a special guest come up here. He is a U.S. Senator. His name is Senator Jeff Merkley. He
was one of the people that first attempted to bring national spotlight and attention toward this immigration crisis down there. He was, as you saw the reports, he was doing his best to make sure to get in there and shed light at the abhorrent and terrible conditions that our people are in. He was able to go in there and, you know, and raise that attention to the national stage. And so when he asked us here in Salt Lake City, you know, would you like to speak? Would you like, can I speak? We said yes, as long as we say what? Abolish ICE. 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 Because we gotta notify both our U.S. Congress people, both our state and Senate representatives. Let them know if they're not going to do it, then we will. Yeah. So next to have a speaker, and we're so again we're so grateful to have him here in our presence. Senator Jeff Merkley.
How y'all doing? You ready to change the world? Ready to stand up for children? Ready to not just resist and persist, but vote this November? Oh, I love the sound of that, because it's going to be your energy, your passion that is going to help us turn this nation around and reclaim our we the people United States of America. I want to tell you about a little girl named Andrea. So, on my first trip down, as you know, they wouldn't let me in to see the children. And that drew a little bit of attention. That they didn't, instead of sending out their manager, they sent and called the police. Suddenly I'm there at the door waiting for the supervisor to come out, and the police cars are arriving because they want to keep secret what they're doing to children separated from their families. Weren't allowed to be secret. So I went back 2 weeks later with a group of other members of Congress, and the first thing we did was go out on the bridge. Now, you know the bridge I'm talking about there in Hidalgo? It's over the river. It's between Mexico and the United States. And when I was there 2 weeks earlier, the folks who are working, the pro bono folks working with refugees, they said there were 40 families on the bridge. They'd been allowed to cross the line into the U.S., but then not allowed through the doors of the port of entry. So they were stranded right there. So I wanted to go back and bring attention to the fact that our government is blocking people from asserting their right to a hearing for asylum in the United States of America. And here is the thing. It's illegal to do that. Can someone say, Jeff Sessions, obey the law? So they said, oh, you can go out on your bridge with your fellow members of Congress because there's nothing there. They looked very happy. They cleaned up the bridge. So how did that work? So we went out on the bridge, and sure enough, no 40 families on the bridge there waiting to get in the doors. But instead, at the very center of the bridge between Mexico and the United States, 4 members of the border guard lined up and letting no one pass who didn't have a visa or a passport. So those folks seeking asylum weren't even being allowed to set foot in the United States at the legal port of entry where the president has said they're supposed to seek asylum. And you know what? It was putting these families in very precarious circumstances, because if they had to go back to the Mexican side, there are gangs in the city across the way that know that these folks are easy prey with no support structure. So isn't it pretty diabolical for Jeff Sessions to say there's no reason to cross the border except at ports of entry, and then to block people at ports of entry? So I went back in the doors after we came off the bridge, and there were several interview rooms that were completely empty, and they said, oh, we don't have space, we don't have time. But I'm looking at the empty rooms, they're not interviewing anyone. And I say, you know, is there any family here that's actually seeking asylum? And they say, yes. I said, well, can I talk to that family? And they said, okay. They weren't really happy about it, but they brought out a woman and her baby. And the baby's name is Andrea. Let's not forget Andrea, because I think she symbolizes the plight of the children at the border. And so I asked her about her story, and she's from Honduras. Her family had a loan from a bank. They couldn't repay it. The bank works with the drug cartel as an enforcer, so they said she was targeted for death if the family didn't repay the loan after she delivered her baby. So she fled a month before her baby was due to save her life, her baby's life. And she told me that her uncle had instead been killed after she left. She gave birth on the way going through Guatemala and Mexico to get to the United States. And then she carried that baby and she made it through, and she finally made it to the border of the United States of America at the legal port of entry. And she went out of that pedestrian bridge, and she said she was turned back time and time again from being able to assert her claim for asylum. And so I said to her, how did you make it in these doors? How did you get into this room? And for just a moment, her face completely lit up. And she said, well, let me tell you how I did this. She said, I was turned away time and time and time again. And then I noticed that in the car lane, across the car bridge, there were people out there washing windows for tips. And she said, I borrowed a squeegee, and I washed windows on the car lane to get across to the United States of America and get entry to the port of entry. Now, she told me her baby was 65 días old. 65 days old. So she fled with a month left in her pregnancy. It probably taken her 3 months to get up. And but you know what? Just days before she made it in that door, Jeff Sessions changed the definition of asylum. And he said anyone who's fleeing gangs isn't going to qualify. So the gang, actually the drug cartel, is her local government that's oppressing people. And you know what? We are tied into that because the reason that drug gangs are controlling cities or neighborhoods in Honduras is because the United States' appetite for drugs is funneling the money down there. So their plight is partly the result of us. We are tied into them. So here's the thing. We need to keep pushing because the administration now, due to all of your efforts, all of your voices, it has said, okay, we're going to end child separation. But we held a hearing on Wednesday. I held a hearing, not an official hearing, an unofficial hearing, because the Republicans wouldn't hold an official hearing to look into it. So we had an expert. Okay, I have to wrap this up, I see. I've got so much, I'm so happy you're out here protesting and making an issue out of this. So, the plan from the Attorney General is to go from hurting children in one way to hurting them another. To go from a vision of family separation to family incarceration. Internment camps for families in the United States of America. Are we going to let that happen? No, we are not. Absolutely not. Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump and Steve Miller and John Kelly. We are not going to let that happen here in our nation. We believe in Lady Liberty's torch. We don't believe in greeting those fleeing persecution with handcuffs and a prison sentence, and we're certainly not going to incarcerate the children along with the parents. So thank you. Keep protesting. Keep fighting. Do you know that phrase Republicans used about health care? They said repeal and replace. Let's repeal and replace ICE. Thank you all very much.
So So what are we going to do? We're going to vote, we're going to protest, we're going to do direct actions, we're going to give donations, we're going to be present, we're going to make sure we run for office. All these things we got to do. And so we have 2 more speakers left. Just as important as those who are able to go down to detention centers, we have a mom right here who is also able to speak from her personal experience.
Utah politicians, where are you today? Where are you?
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Leticia García y vengo representando a estas madres que tienen sus hijos lejos. Yo pasé 18 años para poder ver a mis hijos y puedo entender.
Hi, my name is Leticia Garcia, and I'm here to represent all the mothers that are going through this right now. And it took me 18 years to be able to see my children again.
Yo sé lo que se siente, es que tu hijo esté lejos y no poder darle un beso. Y Dios los bendiga a todos.
I know how it feels to not be able to kiss your child, and God bless you all.
Por favor, señores congresistas, señor del gobierno, presidente, le pido por esas madres, no separe a una madre de su hijo.
To you congressmen, politicians, we're asking you not to separate the mothers from their children.
El Señor le bendiga a todos por haber venido y haber apoyado. Soy del Salvador, represento México, todo lo que sea.
Thank you to all of you that came here to support us. I represent El Salvador, Mexico, every country.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. When immigrant families and refugees are under attack, what do? I can't hear you.
Stand up, fight back.
Okay. John, ACLU, let's hear it for him, please. John?
My name is John Mejia. I'm the legal director of the ACLU of Utah, and one of my proudest moments in the last year was suing ICE and the U.S. Marshals for conducting an illegal raid against a young family. There are some extraordinary people and organizations with us here today, but none of us can stop family separations or hold Trump accountable alone. We can only do so if we all fight together, and that means each of you. In February, 4 months ago, the ACLU filed suit on behalf of a mother who had been separated from her daughter after seeking asylum in the United States. They were detained thousands of miles apart for more than 4 months. We sued the government, and a month later that mother and daughter were reunited. But still, the family separations did not stop. We kept fighting in the court and added a whole class of plaintiffs. But still, the family separations did not stop. The thing that got Trump to back down and stop tearing children away from their parents was you.
Around the world.
We, the people, heard the cries of children begging to stay with their parents, and we, the people, spoke out. And that's why all of us need to stay in this fight until every child is reunited with his or her family. And until all people within our borders are treated with the basic respect and humanity they deserve. We need to keep organizing, marching, rallying, calling, and most importantly, voting this November. That is how we take our country back. Not in a courtroom, but in the streets and at the ballot box. This is what democracy looks like. We scored a major victory this week when a federal court ordered the Trump administration to reunite children with their families. And together, we made 10,000 calls to stop Paul Ryan's anti-immigrant bill. But this fight isn't over. Now the Trump administration is making plans for mass detention camps. That's why we will keep fighting in the courts, in the streets, and in Congress to hold the Trump administration accountable for the irreversible damage it has done to these young lives. And we need you with us. Go to acluutah.org where we have links to all the actions you can take. Call Congress to tell them to stop the brutality. Add your name to a nationwide petition and show up and raise your voice like you are here today. We won't back down, and with you beside us, we will win. Are you with us?
All right. So as we are now closing up everything, I want to first give a major shout out to our ASL interpreters. Everyone give them a round of applause. Next, we want to give a major shout out to all the state legislators here in this rally at the moment. So if you are a state legislator, please raise your hand. Now that they're raising their hand, remember, let's keep them accountable. Let's make sure they keep winning in their seats and stay there as long as they match what we want to match, correct? And then also, we want to give a major shout out to all the organizations surrounding this rally. Remember, after here, there are those booths out there. Go and get involved. Get to know what they're doing. Because this doesn't stop here. This may look good with the selfie shot, may look good with the Facebook attendance kind of thing, but at the end of the day, the weeks that come, we have to put in that work. So we're going to give a final announcement because we believe in local organizations and local grassroots orgs, and we have the Brown Berets from Rose Park. So Shirley?
Chinga la migra, chinga la migra, chinga la migra, chinga la migra, chinga la migra. Sí se puede, 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 sí se puede. ¡Viva la causa!
How's it going, y'all? My name's Shirley Reyes and I'm part of the Brown Berets. You know, I've been hearing a lot about the Trump administration, but we gotta recognize this. This has been going on for years. Like this guy said to me back here, for 16 years. Through the Obama administration. We gotta recognize that this is a systematic problem, okay? We gotta end American imperialism, capitalism, all this shit that keeps the people of color and every marginalized community down. This is the shit we gotta focus on. Keeping the power within the power of the people is what matters. Vote? Fine. But remember, don't trust a like a figurehead, because the power's with us. We push the figurehead, because it's our power. Nobody else's, it's us. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Hell yeah. Thank you. So we're the Brown Berets, we're at Rose Park, and we're going to be holding a barbecue. Everyone's invited. Everybody's invited. It is 7/27 at 7 p.m. in Jackson Park and Rose Park. Woo! Come out. Free food, performances, workshops. Everyone's going to be invited. So please come out and show your support. All right? Hell yeah. One more chant.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
¡Viva la causa!
All right, let's give them another round of applause. All right. Thank you once again for all who came. Major shout out to Jamie Carter, who helped us organize with MoveOn.org. Special shout out to Summer, who was able to help keep people on time, even the senator, right? We gotta make sure. Thank you so much. There's so much love in here. Put those pictures up, share them all, and then last messages from my co-organizers.
Again, I really want to strongly urge to get involved with one of these grassroots organizations. As the Brown Berets has stated, we must make this a people's movement. We've been betrayed for far too long from our government and our state. Any change is going to happen with who you're standing with. Get to know them, love them, protect them, and keep up the fight. Thank you.
And those who want to take it further, we are going to meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the Salt Lake Library at the, what is it called? Sheesh. The pavilion thing that's right by the library. Rebecca Hall is going to be teaching Know Your Rights for Civil Disobedience, so please go.
Thank you everybody for showing up. Remember, this is the first step. Go meet the local organizations. Don't leave and go about your life and okay, that was very nice. Go register to vote. Comunidades Unidas needs your signatures. Thank you so much and God bless.